Sayuni. Sayuni. The kind of girl who likes everything a little bit that she cannot decide what she is really good at. She likes singing, playing, going to the beach, talking to strangers like she has known them 10 years ago. And someone who is very cautious yet very careless. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear fellow Toastmasters. 19 years ago, a little notorious girl was born, and right in front of you is her. She who spent the first few years of her life as years of excellence and currently going through the years of disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, talk about life. We are all gifted with life, and in that gift, we are given another gift. So that will be life and choice. How I'm standing in front of you today, sounding the way I sound, giving you a vibe of the way I vibe, and having an identity of how I'm identified was all a choice of how the past has molded me. Let me share with you an incident that turned over the new leaf of my life. So I never really knew I can sing, and I'm still not sure if I can. But I'm pretty much aware that my covers are in the playlist of my friends, so maybe I really can. One day, there was a talent show at school, and I was just 12 years old. I practiced this song all alone with karaoke, and not even my parents knew about it. Sorry. I just asked them to come to the final show, and that was it. So the day of the talent show came up, and guess what? I had fever that day. And I sang Someone Like You by Adele, and you can see, even when I was 12, what kind of songs I preferred. So with the fever and the weary voice, with the phlegm, I'd be like, never mind, I'll find someone like you. I did not realize that I have sung so well that some of the ladies came up to me and said, "Aw, little Adele." And one lady kept her hand on my forehead to check my temperature. Such is how Sayuni's life functioned. And not to mention, I won the second place of the show. So, whenever and wherever is a special occasion, there is some sort of barrier. Well, I meld into it though. So, life having to be this way, I have lived 19 years and currently spending the 19th. Talk about family. My mother being a cute little housewife, and my father being a next level workaholic, and my sisters being very free individualistic feminists, here I am like a gone wrong organism in the family. Why? That little mischievous, notorious girl who keeps on messing up anything and everything she touches. Yet, she seemed very smart and all brainy. I don't know how that works, but that's how I'm defined at home. Coming back to another gone wrong moment of my life, my mother having to be diagnosed with lymphoma was a very upsetting day of my life. For those who don't know what it is some sort of situation where cells recur in your lymphatic system. If I'm saying all of that indirectly. So it was a shocking day of my life, and during this moment, I had so much in my head. You might be wondering, what is this so much she keeps saying all of the time? My dear honored guests, I was heartbroken and still am. I spent years trying to find myself, trying to heal, didn't even open up to anyone. And most of it all, I played the pretend game at home. It was my friends who helped me, who was there for me, who took me out when I didn't want to, and who forced me to do things I never wanted to do. And I'm very glad that they were always pushing me forward. being this lost soul, trying to fix pieces of a broken heart, and my mother being sick and noticing her body drain day by day. It was crazy workload that I had to deal with by that time. The chores and with the mentality I had that moment, having to be on the move around 12 hours a day, sometimes with my father, sometimes he's not there. So we have to move everywhere and then get everything checked up frequently. So, what was exciting is that gradually everything came to normal. She was recovering, and I just didn't know how. It wasn't any medications, of course, because they did not prescribe anything. They only examined the growth of it. But she was getting perfect. I can remember the 100 times I prayed, 100 different ways to Jesus to sort everything out. Yes, Jesus, although I'm Buddhist. And I'm very much proud of how far I've come, and I'm back on my feet with the support of most of the people around me. Sayuni, being her best friend's most annoying human being, her mother's notorious child, her father's little princess, and the outsider's goofy stranger, she has managed to pick herself up and be the bubbly person she has always been. She's bad at giving a pretty boastful introduction. Well, let's call it being selfless. I can see all the cute faces, and you all seem very interested. So, for more of me, meet me at LDA Faculty of Computing. Over to you, Toastmaster, of the day, and have a very good day, everyone.
According to my point of view, success isn't achieving the best or being the first in the life. Success is something we find inside us. This is what called success doesn't change, it reveals you. When we consider about the success, it is all about identifying the values of a person and making his oppo- finding opportunities in the society and taking them into their lives, and also finding out their weaknesses in their life and figuring out the threats from their society and how to manage them is success. So when it comes to this character also, we saw he was a person since his child ages. He was working for his success. But in sometimes he was found as a person who failed in his life. Maybe the marriage life, maybe in his career. He was refused by the film producers before he was committed. He was considered as committed uh, 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 domestic violence cases. So by those things, it is better to figuring out our own skills, our own values, and our attitudes. And developing this can provide us a better life. So that's why it's called success doesn't change. It you change you, it reveals you. The success inside us have to be figured out by us and make it visible to the society.
When you turn back and see what you have done within your whole lifetime, when I look at my life, I would say 16 years ago, I'm 32 and I just hit the age of my schooling. And after schooling, how I did my higher education and also how I started my profession, I would like to say I have no regrets. It's just about lessons. Taking this as a personal, in my personal opinion, what I think is it's every lesson is a path for your success. And also, like the lessons, what we learn through the hard way, it's really important for our future career. The topic, there are no regrets in life, it's just all about lessons. When it comes to nowadays, what most of our Toastmasters and all other people whom we meet day to day, it's all about a lesson. Even today, when I'm participating at this KDU Toastmasters meeting, it's an opportunity for me. It's a lesson. By presenting myself here and doing a table topic, it's also an opportunity for me. So in my case, I don't think it's something to regret, but take your opportunities, what you get, and there is a lesson to learn, and there is nothing to regret on what you do. With that, I'd like to conclude my session, and over to you, table topic master.
Leading roaming volunteers. First of all, Toastmaster Harish, what I really liked about your speech was that you had a very good understanding about what you did and a very good emotional intelligence on what I did wrong, where do I need to improve, and all these things. So for me, I felt that you had taken the full advantage of the 360 evaluation that was provided by your members. So starting with the great points I saw in your speech, you approached your speech with a very powerful quote where the leader shows the way, knows the way, something like that. So with that powerful opening, you had a specific speech structure. So you gave us an introduction about what your organization is, what we are doing here, things like that. So I like that opening. Instead of confusing the audience, you directly stepped into to the introduction part. So afterwards, then talking about your content, here you had realized who a leader should be and and you had also done a gap analysis. Like you said that you are overconfident, you said that you lacked patience, that you had to improve your communication skills. So you had that brilliant understanding on what you need to improve. So this is what we exactly want all the leaders today need to do, because they should know what they are good at, what they are not good at. Also, another thing I appreciate is that you realized your weaknesses. You were not ashamed to realize your weaknesses. You were smiling, and it shows that you are a really humble character. So well done, Toastmaster Harish. You have done a brilliant job in figuring out your leadership styles in a volunteering organization. So moving on with that, you also, since it's an online setting, we really appreciate when the speakers stand and do their speeches. You took that challenge today. So, and we didn't feel like the speech was very lively and we felt it. So well done, Toastmaster Harish, on that. So some improvement points would be, now you talked about your whole experience, but I wish I could hear a bit of a personal story. Why do you think you were overconfident? Where did you lack that patience? If we could hear a few scenarios on where did you go wrong, that would have more resonated with the audience. Then we would have a better understanding on what happened. So I wish there was a bit of a story there so that we could understand what you went through better. And next thing is, as I was focusing on your speech, you were in the corner. Like if you take the screen, you were not in the middle, you were in the corner, and I did not see you moving much. It was a great opportunity for you to structure your speech in such a way where maybe you give an introduction in the middle, you go to the left side and talk about your weaknesses, what were your strengths, and then you nicely finish it off in the middle. So something like that would have added more value to your speech. So, perhaps you can practice more and do that in your next speech as well. So Toastmaster Harish, job well done today. You have realized what your speech objectives you provided. You demonstrated that understanding on how a leader should be and your weaknesses, your strengths, and you delivered it in a very nice manner. Just remember to add a little story next time when you deliver your speech. So Toastmaster Hari, over to you.